Where do you find your value? Where do you find your value? Now, we've talked about identity, we talk about purpose, all of these issues that we discuss from time to time. But the question in front of us today is, where do we find value? I could say it this way: when do we feel valuable? When are we doing the thing that makes us feel useful and valuable? My name is Jeremy Stolnecker. This is the Mighty Oaks Daily Devotional, and today we are at Psalm 84. And most often I'll read a couple of verses from a psalm and talk about it for a minute, but today I want to read this entire psalm, and it gets us to the answer to this question, or what should be the answer to this question, as we understand who God is and how God works in our lives. So I want to read this, beginning in verse number 1, Psalm 84. How amiable are thy tabernacles, O Lord of hosts! My soul longeth, yea, even fainteth for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh crieth out for the living God. Yea, the sparrow hath found an house, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young, even thine altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are they that dwell in thy house. They will be still praising thee. Blessed is the man whose strength is in thee, in whose heart are the ways of them. Who passeth through the valley of Baca, make it a well. The rain also filleth the pools. They go from strength to strength. Every one of them in Zion appeareth before God. O Lord of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O God of Jacob. Behold, O God, our shield, and look upon the face of thine anointed. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the man that trusts in thee. I'll go back to one verse, verse number 10. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather to be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. The psalmist, as he walks through this psalm, he talks about going different places and walking through different areas. But in all of it, he comes back to this: I am the most content and the most satisfied. I feel the most purpose and the most value, the most meaningful, when I am in the presence of God. So we ask this question: what makes us feel valuable? What makes us feel useful? What makes us feel good about the life that we're living? Is it the circumstance or the situation? Is it clarity about our purpose or our identity? All of those things are important. But as the psalmist, we should be able to say that I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. You see, we should feel the most content, the most at rest, the most useful when we are a doorkeeper, when we're doing work in the house of God. Now, this meant something very specific to the psalmist. We could say, well, this means church. It's being in the house of God in church. We use that language. Really what it's talking about is this: when I'm in the presence of God doing the work of God, when I serve others for His glory and their good, when I am working to fulfill the purpose that God has placed on me. What is that purpose? To point others to Himself, to be kind, to be helpful, to be a reflection of Him to the world. When I'm doing that, when I'm in His presence and doing His work, if you will, the work reflected, let the world see your good works so they may glorify your Father. When we do that good work, when we're in the presence of God, when we reflect Him to others, there is not a time that we are more useful or valuable and should be at rest. I wonder about you. I know for me, there are times when I strive for what I would define as more. I want to be more. I want to accomplish more. I want to do more. I think as the psalmist, I need to come to this place, and maybe you do as well, where the conclusion is not do more. The conclusion is be in my place before God and do the work that He sets in front of me. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow for another Mighty Oaks Daily Devotional. For more information about the Mighty Oaks Foundation and the work that we do for veterans, active duty service members, and first responders, please visit mightyoaksprograms.org.